Okay, so after that train wreck of a previous recording, I'm trying this again. This time it's, choose a gun. Google translated, garbage. If you are ready to start last, I must be ashamed. There is no one here. In 2005, I graduated from Nickelodeon Studio. They are a lot, of course, but of course they know better but are free. Opinion is good, but most children. We've been working with our suppliers to find new opportunities in the last few days. He also wants to say more than the minimum. He recently gave the master. This is a good start of training. The rest of the team made a short film SpongeBob. But there is no problem of long-term delays. 4 of a series means for solving all problems and after a few months of trouble. My students and I were in the rooms. Journalists, music journalists, media of the last century. We aren't last because we found the scared crabby and screens, but the artists are always fun domestically in the fun cards. They are joking with us, yes. Generally, the title, Sex and Mountain, rather, Healthy Muscles, SpongeBob and Patrick started laughing. I mean, bad jokes. Yep. Different with smiley faces. Good music flowed normally. Use your alliance as proof of an interesting story. And always start with a practice. Just as a warning, the Google Translate has kind of turned the story into a poem. I don't know. Different with smiley faces. In addition to the expedition, he practiced today because today we wake up, thrive, and understand each other. Laugh, sisters, listen. Okay, as long as you leave out the sisters part, this sentence kind of makes sense. Because today we wake up, thrive, and understand each other. Laugh, listen. Best to say SpongeBob, Sandy. The equipment is still in development, and what we have witnessed is no big show. Things started to change. Some songs in the game are played, but there is no sound. No sound. Visual in this case is not important. Yes, this is a normal game. Forever. Many are disappointed with what is being forgiven. This exhibition is a bad movie, but not clear yet. I can hear the picture. If the ink is beautiful and elegant, this will always be the center of SpongeBob, and it's simple. But this is not normal. Interestingly, everyone sees clarity and transparency. For more information, of course this does not apply to people's minds because it is much more powerful than CGI scanners. Read with students. Although our opinion is confusing, our writers have kids because we are suspicious claims. The edge of the bed is almost zero. The window after the crowd looks at the night sky as well. Divorce has no vote. A room spokesman said, "This is no word. Their position is good, but the spokesman is weak. He rested for half an hour, began to tremble, crying. Enclosed roof is the moment of his eyes, and his hands are quiet to the sound of sound. He looks like a tornado in the forest. On the screen, looking back 10 seconds, slowly found it. Policy. You know it was spring, and it returns to the general sign. The sound of trees in the wind. Thunder and rain caused this area. Very good rubber parts. Then there was a noise in his nose. He undressed. His stomach opened, and he was by his side. Sleeping in the fields can be expensive. Lights are always better. There are no mistakes, no marks, no signs, and one key for one idea. He believes the photographer is responsible for the child's death. Of course I go, but I hope it's just cancer. This is getting to me. The curtains shrink, vibrate together into something that is physically constant. His blood dripped on his face. Blood flows to wonder. And when you go up, you have blood on your fingers. The wind is like a big wind in the forest. Business are all silent. The girl, deep and tall. After about 20 seconds, the screen flies back and sees the picture for 1 year. The author didn't ask us to come back. We were all there. But he knew he needed to do it. Now the film shows a girl who's not older than the first child. The stomach, it comes out and puts the dressing in a blood pump. His left eye is wide, and with shoulders only red. He lifted his stomach from another side. The body returns to the flow and crowns the statue. The same size and shape as before. I have to reduce my vomiting with a pen. What? Only the woman in the room. The event continues. After about 5 seconds after the second shot, a loud noise was heard at the beginning of the game. Under his head, he stood face to face with the beginning of other parts. He died of anger, blood and heart failure. Checked the screen with the viewfinder. After 10 seconds, he was angry. This time he did not close his eyes. There are a lot of loud noises and lots of crying. I'm not, like, what is this? Tears and blood flow to your face at a difficult rate, and the winds and storms, and now there are 5 good videos in the picture. Plants stimulate and increase breathing. I'm sure that's not taught in school, but okay. This time it was a picture of a child the same age, but this time it was different. Hair is moved from the upper arm straight to the right eye, and blood is flowing. This part continues. Hard to believe, but the difference is, but we can't say it. It happened. It happened. The first thing he wants is to come play fast and loose. There was a special file manager and sound editor at the bottom of the floor. I liked the 5 files. This looks like a 5-page image. It's separated as a file. We saw hands moving slowly through Vanu. Okay, Vanu. V-A-N-U. What the hell does that mean? We saw his face. We saw the 2 boys began. The caller asked him to agree and asked the employee to investigate. Mr. Hillenberg arrived in 15 minutes. When he learned why his name was called, the teacher left. When small flowers grow, everything rings and their voices are heard. Rotate the viewer face to face in 3 seconds. The image disappears with a deep voice that says, "What?" And we see his hand on a Squidward pistol. He immediately put the gun in his mouth and pulled out the player. Comfortable, and wash the blood that flows into the wall, sleep on the wall, and jump into nature. During the first 5 seconds, your body is seen on a mat, and your doll, surrounded by your head on the floor, must be visible after the event is finished. Mr. Hillenberg knows that. He asked if he knew what was happening. Most people in the room at that time were not people like that. Visual time works only. Where an appearance as an inquiry it does not allow a witness to do so, no boy collected or registered will be checked, and the scan will not. Do you believe the story of depression? Prove that I cannot now dispute. Do not take anything. Think twice. Yeah. What a beautiful poem. Bravo. I have no idea what I just read, but this is pure insanity.